GLP-1 drugs an existential threat to the processed food industry, as one academic recently told the New York Times? Or do they present some interesting opportunities for creative food formulators and marketers?
Yeah, Supergut is a gut health nutrition company. So we focus not only on digestive health, but in ways that can help with your metabolic health as well. In particular, appetite control and actually helping naturally boost your GLP-1 gut satiation hormones. So we make shakes, we make snack bars, and we make a prebiotic fiber blend that you can just add to anything. Absolutely. That was a big part of the foundation for the company, is actually providing real function and efficacy, right? So better than better for you. And so in addition to clinical studies for existing ingredients, we actually did our own gold standard clinical trial on our product to just show
on our
finished product to show how effective this product can be on many different dimensions of health. It was randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, close to 200 participants. So it was a real legitimate study, actually peer-reviewed and published in Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism. Our main objective actually was a quality of life metric for people struggling with diabetes and blood sugar issues, that we saw a significant material improvement in overall quality of life and confidence. We also saw hard clinical measures as well. So we saw significantly improved blood sugar control. So a 0.7 reduction in HbA1c relative to the placebo shake. By the way, the placebo was another shake with the same amount of calories, the same amount of protein, but it was missing our proprietary prebiotic fiber blend. But we also saw better appetite control and healthy, steady, modest weight, right? So this isn't Ozempic-like, right, in terms of the magnitude, right? Nothing is, right? No food, no other medications, right? But we provide the same type of mechanisms, but in the same direction, but in a healthy, natural, steady way. We saw better blood pressure. We also saw and obviously better digestion, and then other areas that are connected to this gut-brain axis, so healthier energy, better sleep. People slept better. They had less brain fog. All these ways that are connected to a healthy gut microbiome, we actually saw direct clinical evidence in our study for. I mean, I think most people are getting more and more familiar now with Ozempic and Wegovy and the other GLP-1 drugs, where they are mimicking. They found that this can be unbelievably effective when done in very concentrated, very long-lasting dosages. And it both works there's a physical element of like slowing down digestion, right, keeping you full a little longer, but a really strong mental signal. It's a signal to your brain that you're not hungry. And when you have that, you don't eat. And when you don't eat, you lose a lot of weight. And like I said, I mean, these drugs are breakthrough. There's been nothing like them before in the medical world, let alone food, right? And so people are consuming 30% less calories and losing 15% of their weight. That's why they're breakthrough. That's why they're taking off. I think we're in the early stages of what I call the Ozempic era. Now, clearly, there's no food that can replicate that level of effect, right? But the reality is, this is opening the avenue to have more of a conversation about your body's natural mechanisms, right? It is based on some fundamental aspects of how your body manages metabolism. And like so many other things, it's connected to your gut microbiome, right? And so, the way it works is like specific types of prebiotics, like those that we include in Supergut resistant starches, beta-glucans. They bypass digestion. They're very effective at getting into your gut, both your upper gut and lower gut, feeding really important microbes. And those microbes byproducts, like short-chain fatty acids, they help tap into regulating multiple systems in your body, and some of which are your metabolic pathways, and so production of these hormones. GLP-1 is one of the predominant ones, but there's also GIP, there's PYY. They manage them up, they manage them down. It's very, very complicated, and it's not the only pathway, but it is well known and well researched that this is one of the pathways through which the gut microbiome and digestive health connects to metabolic health. Insulin response, blood sugar control, appetite, control, and weight management as well. So there's a natural mechanism that we can tap in to give you some of the direction. It's not the same. It does kind of a much shorter half-life, right? I mean, and so these drugs are basically like bathing your entire system in it, right, for a week at a time. And so you're just almost never hungry. Versus these do give you an acute effect of feeling fuller longer, and so making healthier healthier eating decisions.
So you started kind of pitching your wares as nature's Ozempic a few months ago, and you've been kind of flooded with interest recently. What kind of traction are you seeing, and who are your kind of target consumers?
Yeah, I would say it's a couple different directions. For us, we actually see relevancy around nutritional needs and use cases that are risen by Ozempic, not just as an alternative, but also as a companion, right? And so many people that are actually using these drugs are looking for nutritional solutions that are higher dense nutrition, right? Because they're eating fewer calories, so they need to count, right? So they need more high protein, high fiber, low sugar foods, and we provide those. People are also looking for ways to offset some of the digestive side effects of these drugs. And then many people are trying to come off of them as well and want to maintain the results over time. So we're actually effective in all of those different use applications. So not just being an alternative, so to speak, but actually like a companion, in addition to if someone doesn't want to use them. We obviously want to provide a natural way for healthy gut health and appetite control as well. And so since we've really honed in on that positioning, this combination of gut health and appetite control and like natural GLP-1, it's really, really taken off. So we've literally tripled the business, over the past 5 or 6 months, as a result of honing in on this positioning. And obviously it is in large part because it's a unique positioning, but also because so many people are now so focused on this world of appetite control and GLP-1 and Ozempic and so forth. So it's definitely creating a lot of momentum in our space broadly, and I'd say specifically for
it's kind of
Supergut.
interesting for me writing about this topic because people are often talking about resistant starch and some of these fibers as the unsung heroes.
Yes.
So it's good to get their sort of day in the
sunshine. Finally, right? Who knew it would take big pharma to create such, exposure for some of the goodness that we know, right, from a nutrition side. And I'm like, listen, I'm not the biggest pharma fan in the world, but if that's what it takes for us to shine the light on the importance of gut health and prebiotics, resistant starch beta-glucan, I think that's a positive in the grand scheme of things.
So just kind of stepping back, how do you see these kind of GLP-1 drugs impacting the food industry more broadly? Because, we've had headlines about Ozempic being this existential threat to the food industry. I mean...
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been asked this a lot, and I think about this all the time. I think of it almost like two ends of the spectrum. I really do think that there is a reason why there's some concern within the broader food space. Because when you look at the stats, people that are using GLP-1 drugs, they're eating a lot less. And the question is, what are they eating less? And it happens to be a lot of the foods that comprise a significant portion of the Western diet, like not nutrient dense, kind of not very good for you food, high calorie but low nutrition. And that's a lot of our snacks, that's a lot of our restaurants, that's a lot of the foods that you get in the typical Western diet. And they see the data, right? I mean, obviously Walmart came out with a statement seeing the data from the pharmacy side, people using them relative to the grocery basket size reduced significantly. But it was the nature of the foods, I think, that does matter. It is, let's call it junk foods or hyper processed foods, right? That comprise a lot of our diet are challenged, right? And I think that is only going to continue over time. On the other side of the spectrum, though, when you look at where people are shifting to, it is more functional foods, more nutrient-dense foods. Like, again, I think general themes around high protein, high fiber, low sugar, I think is really coming to the forefront. I also think you'll continue to see people evolve around portion sizes, right? I mean, to start to make things smaller, snackable. Some of the trends
we're already seeing in
no,
the food
exactly.
industry,
It's accelerating, things that are already good. I think the other thing that you'll continue to see is an increasing prevalence in the digestive health set. I mean, for one, just offsetting the side effects, like I said, which can be pretty pervasive for folks that deal with GLP-1s. A lot of times the side effects are digestive in nature, right? I mean, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, because they are quite disruptive to your normal digestive system. So I actually think, and we're also seeing a lot of shift and increase in the focus on digestive health broadly. But I also think there's an aspect of this which is not just about digestion, but it's back to where we started, with Supergut, is that it's not just digestive health for digestion's sake, but for gut health, and and its connection to total health. It's actually giving an avenue to connect the dots here, and to talk about how gut health is connected to so much more than digestion, including appetite control. control,
Yes.
including healthy weight management, including healthy blood sugar control as well.
Yes.
So I also think there's already a lot of emphasis around the gut health trend, right? But I think this is, the Ozempic era is going to continue to accelerate that very positive trend as well.